Environmental Science with Min. Hello, guys. Today we'll be talking about geology and non-renewable minerals. So let's begin. So, what are the Earth's major geological process and hazards? So, dynamic processes move matter within the Earth and on its surface and can cause volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, and earthquakes. So, what is geology? Geology is the study of Earth, the materials of it is made of, the structure of those materials, and the processes acting upon them. These include the study of organisms that have inhabited our planet. So, there are three major concentric zones in Earth. We have the core, which is the innermost. This is the core. Mantle, the thick solid rock zone. Here's the mantle. Just remember this. Stenosphere is a hard, partially melted rock that flows and can be deformed like soft plastic. And then crust, kung nasan tayo, the outermost and the thinnest zone. So tectonic plates is a huge ridge plate where much of Earth's geological activity takes place as they separate, collide, or pass one another. So ito yung mga example ng tectonic plates. Yan. Philippine plate. Here, may Australian plate, African plate. So, ito example how tectonic plates move. So, there are three types, three ways. So, divergent boundary, nag-spread siya, nag-divorce, nag-divide. While convergent, nagbubungguan, nag-strive together. And while si transform boundary, siya yung up and down, up and down. Yung plates slide past to another as in nagkakasaliwa. So sa tingin nyo, ano ang pinakamalakas dyan? That would be your thoughts for the day. So more examples. Kung nasan yung mga mantle, here. Ito yung sinasabi na asthenosphere. Yan. Okay. So convection cells or currents move large volumes of rock and heat in a loop within the giant mantle like a conveyor belt. So umiikot siya due to the pressure and gravity. So the Earth major geological process, some of the Earth built up while others were down. Internal geological process generated by heat from the Earth interior build up the Earth's surface via continental and oceanic crust, while external geological process are driven directly by or indirectly by the energy from the sun and including the wind, water, flowing water, glacier, which all contribute to the erosion and influenced by gravity. So basically, pag internal, siya yung nasa ibaba ng mga surface ng crust natin. While yung external, siya yung mga nakikita above crust. So weathering is the major external influence containing three types: chemical, biological, and physical. It is the first step in soil formation. So, volcanoes. Pag naiisip nyo ang volcano, ano ang naiisip nyo? Some of you will think Mount Taal or Mount Mayon or actually Apo is a mountain, but you get the idea. earthquakes are forces inside the earth mantle cause rock to shift or break, producing transform faults or fractures in the crust. So, abrupt up movement causes energy to be released in the form of vibrations called seismic waves. These waves move through around the rocks and this causes earthquakes. So, ito yung mga important terminology sa earthquake, which is focus kung saan nagsimula ang earthquake, epicenter, kung directly above the focus of the surface, magnitude kung gaano the measurement of ground motion indicated by the size of seismic wave. Pag mas malakas ang magnitude, halimbawa 7.1, mas malakas ang seismic wave. Siya yung ginagamit natin pang measure. Um, Richter scale used to measure earthquake intensity. And aftershock, siya yung mga after earthquake, yung mga pahabol na kulog. So, ito yung example ng seismometer kung saan tayo nagme-measure kung gaano kalakas ang yanig ng ano natin earthquake. And dyan siya nagde-detect. So, ito yung mga parts. Ito yung focus kung saan nagsimula. Epicenter. So, just remember these two terms. So, tsunami. Tsunami is a series of large waves generated when part of the ocean floor suddenly rises or drops. Tsunamis are caused by underwater earthquakes, volcano eruption, or thrust faults in the ocean floor. So, between 1900s and late 2007, maraming napatay si tsunami sa Pacific Ocean. So, ito yung nangyari noong 2004, yung malapit sa Indian continent and Indonesia. Yan. Ito yung before, ito yung after the incident. So, landslides, gravity and earthquake can cause landslide by detaching loose soil, rocks, and mud to slide down to the steep slope. This movement is called mass wasting. So, how are rocks recycled? So, there are three major types of rock found in the crust are recycled very slowly by physical and chemical process. So, meron tayong three major types, which is sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic. Earth's crust consists mostly of minerals and rocks. Minerals are elements or inorganic compounds that occur naturally in the Earth's crust as a solid and with regular internal crystalline structure. Halimbawa, gold, silver, diamond. Earth's crust consists mostly of minerals and rocks. Rocks, so rocks are solid combination of one or more minerals found in Earth's crust. So example of a single mineral rock ay yung mga limestone or quartz, quartzite. And two or more mineral rocks katulad ng granite, micas, and quartz. So there are three major rock types yung sinabi ko kanina. Pag sinabing sediment, ay galing sa dead plant and animals. And remains existing rocks that are eroded and weathered into tiny particles. Igneous forms below the Earth's surface when the magma wells up from the Earth's upper mantle or deep crust and then cools and hardens. Metamorphic forms when pre-existing rock is subjected to high temperature, high pressure, chemically active fluids, or these combined. So basically, sediment ay galing sa dead plants and animals. igneous galing sa magma, and then ito naman galing sa pre-existing rocks. So, yan, rock cycle. Alright. Paano nagkakaroon ng rock cycle? That would be your homework, guys, to explain what is rock cycle. So remember, I will be seeing the homework later on. Kung paano nag, you will need to explain this. So moving on, what are mineral resources and what are the environmental effects of using them? Some minerals in the Earth's crust can be made into useful products, but extracting and using these resources can disturb the land, erode soil, produce large amounts of solid waste, and pollute the earth, air, water, and soil. So, ito yung pag-extract. Kukuha tayo ng surface mining, makukuha tayo ng metal, isa-separate natin siya, i-smelt, itutunawin, conversion into a product. So, it's a lot of process. So, mineral resource, concentration of naturally occurring material from the Earth's crust that can be extracted and processed into useful products and raw materials at an affordable cost. For example, fossil fuel such as coal, metallic minerals, and non-metallic minerals. Because they take so long to form, these components of Earth natural capital is considered non-renewable. Halimbawa, it takes millions of years bago tayo makakuha ulit ng diamond. So, mineral resource and the environmental effects of using them. So, ito yung mga countries na malakas mangunguha ng iron ore. So, China is the leading one. So, what is ore nga ba? Ore is the contains large concentration of a particular mineral. So there are two types, high grade and low grade. Pag high grade contains large amount of desirable non-renewable source, while low grade or contains small amount of desirable non-renewable resource. So ito yung mga types of metals. Kung saan siya ginagamit, we use them for jewelry, we use them for electronic devices. So pag wala tayong metal, we are ceased to exist yung modern technology natin. Walang mga iPads, walang mga electricity. So we basically need metal. So ano ba advantage ng mineral use? Mining and processing methods does have benefits. It generates malaking income, provide local state taxes, and provides employment directly and indirectly. Pero ang disadvantage nga, it uses a lot of energy, nasisira niya yung mga kalupaan, produce solid waste, and pollute air, water, and soil. So, ito yung mga steps ulit kung paano siya nakakasira ng kalikasan. So, pag ma-mining, nadidisturbo natin yung lupaan. Dito nagkakaroon ng oil spills. Well, in process naman, dito naman nagpo-produce ng mga radioactive waste, air waste, water waste, para makuha natin, ma-extract natin yung useful ore. And yung usage, yung mga transportation, halimbawa yung mga sasakyan, we also produce waste. Harmful environmental effect of mining, disruption of land surface, damage to forests and watersheds, biodiversity harm, subsidence, toxic waste mining waste, and acid mine drainage. So, ito yung mga sample of mining techniques, but I won't dwell too much on it. See, ito yung mga example. So, ito yung mga surface mining, subsurface, ito yung All right. So, what's the life cycle of metal resource? So, mag-surface mining and then metal ore, separation from the ore, smelting, met melting metals, gagawin, i-convert ulit siya sa useful product, itatapon natin siya, and then i-recycle natin siya, tutunawin ulit. Smelting is harmful to the environment. It emits a lot of air pollutants and suspended particles, damage vegetation and acidify solid in the surrounding area, cause water pollution, produce toxic liquid and solid waste that require safe disposal. So mineral resources are distributed unevenly. Some areas have rich mineral deposits while others have few or none. So, yun ang tatandaan nyo. So, how long will supplies of non-renewable mineral resource will last? So, ito yung depletion curve. The rising of price of scarce minerals can lead to an increase in its supply, but there are environmental limits to its effect. Pag curve A, siya yung shortest depletion time, and curve C, siya yung longest depletion time. So, non-renewable minerals resource can be economically depleted. Future supply of non-renewable materials depends on the actual or potential supply and the rate it's being used. So, napansin nyo every year lagi tayong gumagawa ng iPhone 10, iPhone 6. Every year may Samsung 6 and ang tao naman palit ng palit. So, we need to mine a lot more and to recycle a lot of metals in order to keep up with the latest trend. Economics and mining. Geological process determine the quantity and location of a mineral source. Economics determines what part is extracted and used. So the standard economic theory states that in a competitive market, a plentiful mineral resource is cheap when its supply exceeds the demand, and when a resource becomes scarce, its price rises. Rising price can help encourage exploration, develop better technology, promote resource conservation, search for substitutes, and make it profitable to lower grade ores. So I don't need to discuss this. This is more on taxes again. So critics of mining add hidden costs to the market, so harmful environmental effects of mining will be drastically reduced and would increase recycling and reuse dramatically and allow for many minerals to replace with less environmentally harmful substitutes. While mining companies need taxpayer subsidies and low taxes to keep the prices of minerals low for consumers. Subsidies also keep companies local instead of taking their business to other countries where they will not pay such high taxes. So I won't, so why would using plastic still be a cause of environmental issue? So chemists are learning how to make some plastic from plant materials. So ngayon napapansin ko halos lahat ng focus natin tungkol sa plastic, right? Yung mga single-use plastic. Kung paano natin sa mabilis madedegrade or kung ano magandang substitute. Some are using bamboo shoot, some are using gelatin, some are using cookie dough or a recycled straw. So as how we can decrease our use and waste of minerals opposed to how we can increase our supply of non-renewable materials. So ito yung mga solutions natin. We can substitute, we can reduce, we can recycle and reuse minerals. So, any questions? So, I'll be ending the class. So, see you next week.